This is not a new world. It is simply an extension of what began in the old one. It has patterned itself after every dictator who has ever planted the ripping imprint of a boot on the pages of history since the beginning of time. It has refinements, technological advances, and a more sophisticated approach to the destruction of human freedom. But like every one of the super-states that preceded it, it has one iron rule. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace.
Bad news, everyone!
That little sums up the day. Welcome to the modern.
To the last
retro.
day of the end of the world.
The last day of the end of the world.
I mean the first day of the end of the world.
Okay, there we go. Welcome to Modern Retro, episode 11. I am Cuba. I'm here with Roy. Finally,
that's me, guys. Sorry, I've been busy.
Yeah. And Aaron across the magical world of the internet. And let's definitely got to drink to this fucking day. This is the post. This is literally the day after election day, and I know we have people listening from a good handful of states. I check our stats, but I'm pretty sure most of the states that listen to us are all blue states. And let me tell you, coming from a blue state, if you're listening from a red state, we are not having a good day.
There was not going to be a good day out of this no matter what. It just wasn't. I
brought my daughter to school this morning. I'm looking at just all the faces of the parents, coming out of their cars, dropping the kids off. I no smiles, just everybody's sullen. I walk over to I go over to and get some gas, fill it up. Gas station's packed, no smiles, everybody's sullen. I go to Target to run some errands. It's fucking quiet. They got fucking Christmas music going, but it's just silent.
There's no joy.
No joy to the world whatsoever. I have never in my life seen and felt such a collective sadness.
I did. The night before, around I think 10:45, when I turned on the news, and we had been kind of watching the news here and there throughout dinner and stuff, but we turned on the news around 10:45 and really concentrated on it, and that was when the voting in delegates was still in Trump's favor, and all of the anchors just looked like they had a urinary tract infection. It was like you were watching the episode of Game of Thrones where they just find out one of the characters has died and they're all at their funeral. That's what it felt like I was watching. It did
feel a little red wedding-ish.
I watched the coverage from 11 to maybe 1 in the morning or so on Yahoo Live coverage.
Yep.
And when it came down to they were waiting for the call on Pennsylvania, and when they announced, you had the woman in the lead, and then you had a panel of 7 different people. And when she said, I just got news that Trump just won Pennsylvania. And it was for a good 15 seconds. I'm gonna approximate 15 whole seconds of dead silence before one guy was like,
well,
yeah.
fuck.
No. He was like, yeah,
well, that's the news.
Yeah, she's gonna have to concede. She's gonna have to concede now.
Because that was shocking because
dude, it was insane.
Well, the Pennsylvania was shocking because she had Pennsylvania all night. It wasn't until that last
he won by
95%.
He won 80,000 votes.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it was pretty late. They were if they're gonna rig this election like they rigged the DNC election for Bernie Sanders and Clinton, you can't rig a landslide. So everyone was just we have to do this. This is our one chance. We got to do it now.
They fucked themselves so hard with picking rigging it with Hillary over.
I try to keep this podcast apolitical, but I mean,
there's
on a
no
day
way.
like today, it's we
may never have another podcast, Cuba.
Our voices could be silenced.
The Trump troopers are just gonna march right in. Oh, dude, that's something we need to draw, Aaron. Some Trump troopers.
Now, does it have a Trump?
I think we need to do a little animation.
But see, does it have a Trump face with the hair as
No,
a helmet, or is it like a
picture?
Hold on, is it a black faceplate and the only thing that's on the top is just the orange, like a plastic orange set of hair? With like a black faceplate they pull down.
I don't know. I have like 5 different images in my head that I think I need to draw out now.
I'm picturing like a stormtrooper outfit. And you know how they have those circles on both sides of the face? Push those close together and put them vertically, and you get this like kind of look to the helmet.
See, I'm thinking the dome part of the helmet would be like a representation of his hair. Then like all the faceplate is orange.
Orange, except for 2 white visors.
Yeah,
Like,
the visors are white, and then like it's just got like a tiny little frown. Like you know how like the stormtroopers have like the big frown? It's just like a little tiny frown in the middle.
That's perfect.
You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm absolutely gonna have to.
Tiny hands.
I'm absolutely gonna have to draw this because I'm still doing the Inktober's, even though it's like into the next month. But I want to just keep going with it because it's like cool ideas to draw stuff.
I know, dude. I fell out of that. I have so much I need to do that I just have not fucking gotten to do it yet. And you'd think that staying home all day every day I'd have time to do shit, but I don't.
I never even started it. So hey.
Well, I'm on day 17, and the
sounds
prompt
ominous.
is
Why does that
battle.
sound so? Why does that sound so ominous? It's
I'm
like
on day 17.
yeah, it's like days. Nothing
On
ever.
day 17.
Dude, nothing good starts with day 17. It's like,
Well, day 16 was wet, so I did.
So I stayed inside.
No, I did a drawing of Fathom, just because like that's what it reminded me of. So I've just been like kind of drawing what comes to my mind when I read these one-word prompts. But today's word is battle. I'm halfway through a Goku, but I'll quickly scrap that to draw some fucking Trump troopers like in battle.
I like the picture, and you know we have to. My wife is taking this terribly. You just spent 20 minutes, 30 minutes talking to her when you got here.
yeah.
And, like, that's her putting on a good show.
I know. I can tell by her Facebook statuses that she was pretty distraught.
Yeah.
And it's not completely unjustified.
No, it's not. Not at all.
It's tough for me and Aaron and even you because we're white guys. We're men. We're white. So it's hard for us. You know, so...
Yeah, but I'm also part of a minority as well.
No, you're... Cuba, you use that only...
If the Trump troopers start coming rounding up white people, well, first of all, you're kind of screwed because
was
you
nice
have
knowing you, Cuba.
you have ethnic-looking looks to you. But
hey, my paperwork, sir, is in order. Okay.
It's like I am legit part of the largest minority group.
Yeah, but you couldn't... You only use
Based on
that-
my hair and my nose.
Yeah, but you use that to your advantage sometimes, and then...
Absolutely, that's what Hispanics do.
I know.
And I have to say, I'm very disappointed in my people because they said Trump got like 31% or 29 or 31% in that ballpark of the Latino vote. And I'm like, what?
It's because of his immigration policy.
I mean, I know we don't like we are kind of self-hating and we hate Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans hate Guatemalans and shit. But
it's because of Hispanic people like yourself are tired of their bitchy, illegal mother-in-law living in the guest room. Okay, so they're like, "Fuck this bitch, we gotta get her out of here." So they voted Trump.
I have no problem with illegal immigration because it's honestly not taking away anybody's jobs because white people are lazy. The hardest working people I know are brown.
That's racist, man.
It is very
That's
racist.
Racist as
but
shit.
The hardest working people I've ever met are brown people. And you know, they're not taking away jobs from white people. They took our jobs. They're doing the jobs that you don't want to do because you think you're too good to do that job.
Well,
you think you're too good to pick oranges, to scrub toilets.
Yeah, they're taking...
They're a step above robots.
We're robots who can cook good food.
They're robots with emotion.
I did not kill him.
No, I mean, I don't think... Well, obviously, I mean... I was where to begin? Where to fucking begin?
Well, like I was saying, we need to, even though like we're all devastated on different levels. I guess I'm optimistic because I'm always trying to be glass half full. So I've been approaching this day with as much humor as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's what we've
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only way you could do it.
the memes. If there's
I was like seeing the Civil War.
if there's one good thing that came out of this election, is that the memes for like President Trump, elect Trump or whatever, have been fucking fire. They've been excellent memes.
Well, I love the meme of his wife. It's like, as first lady, my first act will be to find moose and squirrel. Like, I fucking love that. Yeah, and I'm assuming.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Did any of you lose Facebook friends over this?
I blocked the 2 pro-Trump Facebook friends, like
Let me guess, Bobby.
months ago.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, Bobby.
Everybody else either doesn't talk about it, which is a minority on my Facebook feed, or they were all third party to Clinton. Definitely anti-Trump. I think there's like one person. I don't even know how I know. I think I might know this person from like Saco 8 years ago. I never talked to the dude. I've never seen him in person other than the camping trip, but we're friends on Facebook. And he was like, yeah, fucking Trump. I told everybody. And I'm like, who are you again?
Even people, going back to your what you were saying about like no joy at all, no smiles. Even there's like a general malaise over today, and even people that I know who have voted for Trump for one reason or another are not happy about it. Yeah. It didn't feel good. Like
because it was like taking a bite of a shit sandwich.
Well, it was either you had a shit sandwich or a shit sandwich
with cheese.
Like, there's not...
I'll take the one with
extra
cheese.
murder on top.
Yeah, I mean, it just... There was no... Even the third... We've gone back and forth, talking about... Even the third party, Jill Stein or Gary Johnson, on whichever third party you... Was Jill Stein? No, she wasn't on
She's Green Party.
Yeah, but she wasn't actually on the ballot. It was
only Gary Johnson.
Gary
was in
Johnson.
All 50.
Which is a step in the right direction, because he's
she
the
was
first...
on mine.
He's the first one.
Yeah, because she's... local. She's from Massachusetts, so she got New England ballots.
Yeah, Gary Johnson is the first third-party candidate, I think in 18 or 20 years, to be on all 50 states.
Since Ross Perot.
But I want to say it's been
92, 93.
It's been like 18, 20 years or something. So, I mean, that's a step in the right direction. We live in a non-swing state. We are always Democratic, so I had the luxury on my conscience of being able to walk in there and vote Gary Johnson just as like a statement. Because no matter what I did, You
didn't vote Harambe?
I did not vote Harambe, man. I did not. I had my dick out. Hashtag dicks out for Harambe, but I did not vote Harambe.
Did you take a picture of your dick next to the ballot and put it on Facebook?
No, I should.
Because they decriminalized that. That's not. I guess it's illegal to take a picture of your ballot, but so many people were doing it. They were like, "We're gonna waive it."
One thing I have loved is the pictures of when people put it like on their phone or on their tablets of Hillary Clinton coughing in her hand, and they take it and they take a picture of the iPad up next to their fly, so it looks like she's sucking dick.
I have not seen that.
No,
nor do I want to.
They're fucking hilarious. I know, it's like, but hey, gallows humor.
I ended up losing one to this nonsense. Well, it started, but you know. I listen to a lot of news sources. That means like ABC, NBC, Young Turks, Russia Today, Alex Jones. So I have a whole scramble of what is news. Okay,
you totally took any legitimacy away when you said Alex Jones.
Alex Jones has to be in there. The news that he's come out with is usually 5 years ahead. I'm telling you that.
Well, he misses on 95% of what he says, but that 5% that he does hit on is, like he says, 5 to 10 years in the future, and it's usually a fucking wallop.
Listen, I can throw turds at a dartboard and eventually hit a bullseye too.
hey, man, that's
what you have to do, and it kind of sucks with him on it now, because a couple of years ago he was actually more legitimate. He wasn't as crazed and fundamentalist as he is now, so I can't listen to him. But he's grown his operation throughout the year, so now there's other anchors that come in that actually do cover the news more and have a better analytical view like you'd see on a CNN or an NBC. So I can only really pay attention when they're on, because once he's on, he's got that fucking 10-pack a day smoking habit, and he's like, fucking demons! He starts getting real crazy.
Reptilians and black helicopters.
No, he doesn't go reptilians, but he's like, they're Satanists, they're all demonic, they're
besides his
worshiping
crazy
altar
talk,
of blood.
Moloch, the owl god.
I think people would be able to stomach him better if he just, you know what, they're demons, they're this. If he was cool and collected, but whenever he's talking, like, it's like someone shut up like a hot poker up his ass, and he's like, they're demons and they're fire lords.
Now, back, 5 or so years ago when I started listening to him, he would cover the news, so, I'd share it around, oh, this is crazy, did you see this about, fluoride, which, it's basically links to, actual news sources or actual studies and factual stuff. But, it gets you that reputation of, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, as you know. You guys call it to me every single time. But I pay attention to...
I've been agreeing, or at least meeting you halfway on things a lot more.
That's because these past 2 years, news has become conspiracy news. It's so ridiculous.
Well,
with WikiLeaks that's been coming out, with Snowden that's coming out. Once Alex, once Snowden revealed all those secrets and stuff, you had to say, well, that motherfucker Alex Jones was right.
I do still think the fluoride is bullshit, though.
No, it's definitely not.
That's a whole different non-episode right there.
So, I have a smattering of all news outlets, just so I have a well-rounded view. I can get all the angles of this person thinks this way, but this person thinks this way, and there's this take going on over here that you should pay attention to as well. So while I was watching the live coverage, I had my laptop with CNN, I had my TV with the Young Turks, I had my phone with Alex Jones, and I was playing them. Whenever one was going too crazy in a direction, I'd pause it and go to the other stream, and pause it and go to the other stream.
You're going straight Iron Man. Minority
Seriously,
Report.
I'm teched out over here, but
how fucking tired is everybody today?
Oh my god!
I
have 2 Red Bulls.
Around 11,
I'm fine.
I was editing the podcast, the one that went up today. Go listen to it, episode 10. And I usually don't get to start doing that until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm not done till midnight because I have to edit it, find the music, put it together, upload it, make a cover photo, do a whole fucking laundry list of shit. And usually I don't get to go to bed until about midnight. But I actually finished at about 10:30 last night because I got ahead of myself a little bit earlier in the day. And then so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch some election coverage. So I was watching, I was bouncing back.
You were gonna say electric?
The electric company.
Election 2016-17, Electric Boogaloo.
So I watched it maybe an hour or so. And I was going from CNN to the Yahoo to ABC, all the live different things. About 11:30, I'm like, fuck, she's lost. She's not gonna win this. So I went to bed and Liz must not have been sleeping, and she's like, did he win? I'm like, you mean Emperor Trump? I'm like, no, but she's ahead, but I don't think she's gonna win.
Dude, you should have gone Emperor Trump. No.
I am the Senate. So we're sitting there so I don't think she goes to sleep. She just kind of lays down. We both lay down. I think we're both sitting there kind of
waiting for the troops to come.
We're sitting there kind of and we both whip out our phones at the same time, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, and then we spend. So maybe it's quarter to midnight at this point. We spend till about close to 2, fucking watching this shit, and like I said, she's taking it much harder than me. Not that I'm not taking it hard, but just. Again, she's a pragmatist, and I am a hopelessly optimist. So I'm like, it won't be that bad. She's like, no, it will, because this. And it's okay, well, to the point where we woke the baby up, and he's smacking the phones out of our hands like, I gotta go to sleep, motherfuckers. It was essentially exhaustion took over, and I fell asleep. Woke up at 6 today. had to get everything ready for the day and get the day going. And like, even now, I'm just like, fuck, I'm tired, but I don't know if I can go to fucking sleep. Like, I got like a turbo shot in my coffee this morning. And
Nobody feels good.
no.
I looked over at Courtney that whole night, right? It was around, like I said, 10:45. Looked over. Courtney had been staring at the fucking live map change. Like, she was just like, tap, tap.
Right, you just refresh.
On each
refresh,
state.
refresh.
It refreshes on its own. You don't need to do that. But she's like tapping on every state. Like,
It's like, I
seeing the
need some
percentages.
power over it.
To
And I'm
be
just like,
honest, I thought
babe,
he'll.
Babe, hold on. I was like, babe, I need to watch Walking Dead for tomorrow's show.
I know this is important, but I got a walking recap coming up.
I thought Hillary was going to win, but just by squeaking by. And I thought that was going to make a statement as to how unpopular of a candidate she is and her flaws and this and that. That an idiot like Trump could actually win.
Yeah, when he had
And-
like 203 delegate votes, and then all of a sudden California just got like approved at that time, so she went up from like 120 to 197, and they're like, "Oh, they're almost tied now." And I was like, "Well, here we go."
Yeah, I was like doing math. I took my phone out. I'm like, she needs to number C. I'm like, nope, I'm going to bed. She lost.
But when you look at the states, when you look at the map, he smashed her. Like, it wasn't even like I'm not sure when it comes to electoral colleges just how many votes. You know what I'm saying? Is it based? I don't know if it's based on population.
Based on state population.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought so. Now, I mean, it's just I can't believe how badly she lost.
But again, she won the popular vote. So it's like, it's fucked up because how can you, like, our system is so fucked up. You won the popular vote. More people voted for you, but you still lost.
Yeah, hi Al Gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guess
I mean,
what?
it doesn't.
Dude, like, I didn't know. Well, I knew the fact that I heard that she had got the popular vote, but think about it. Like, he literally used the system that they created to rig elections and used it against them.
He weaponized social media. That was his biggest turning point. I mean, he used it as a goddamn weapon of mass destruction.
Just like I know, like, he didn't pay federal taxes and he uses illegally dumped Chinese steel, and he hires illegal immigrants. And it's like,
Dude, you couldn't. Shit would not stick to this dude's fur.
well, no, I mean, yeah,
Just wouldn't.
nothing would stick to him. But it's also, he didn't actually do anything illegal.
Well,
Like, along the way, he skirted the system and he used it. And I don't agree with it at all.
Every
it's like,
single corrupt system we
he-
have, from news to government to like
to
everything
business. His own business is what I'm talking about. And he's like, I did nothing wrong. He goes, you should have made it so I couldn't do that. It's like, dude, that's not I yell at my kid for using that argument. You know, it's
but-
like.
Again,
Yeah, but how much of us look at our fucking tax return when we got to file it and go, "How the hell can I get some money back?" Like,
exactly.
what do I?
Like, when you think about it, he didn't. God, like, that's the thing, is that if anyone else said the shit that he says in a nicer way, I'd agree. Because if it was, say, I don't know, anyone, Joe Schmo saying, look, I did this as a business owner to save money, to provide for my employees and for my stockholders, and maybe I would, if we change the law, and I will change the laws when I get in office, to close those loopholes and make it so they can't be used, we can tighten things up. But he doesn't scratch the change the thing in office. But if somebody said something like that, or if he said
Right,
that,
yeah.
it would be way more acceptable.
He's got a 5th grade vocabulary. We have a 5th grader.
He's got
in
words.
charge
He's
of
got the best
the
words.
best words. We've got a 5th grader in charge of the
best
country
5th
come
grader?
January. And that's what it boils down to. Is
I know.
He's not articulate. I mean, clearly he can read, because when they put a teleprompter in front of him, he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
But when he doesn't have the
You're
teleprompter,
fired.
yeah, I've never seen a single episode of The Apprentice.
Neither have I.
So it's like, people are like, oh, he was good on The Apprentice. It's like, that's a reality show. I mean, it's like, and as far as all I know from that show is he told people he was fired. And how good. That's why I don't get, like, people, like, his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was like destroyed a few weeks ago. I'm like, why does he have a star?
I don't know, but I think the best part is I've never actually seen the show, but I've seen a clip. You get fired if you don't do well. You get fired.
Right.
Well, there was a time when he had a bunch of people there, and he was like, you know what? Screw it, y'all fired, and he fired 5 people all at once. I was just like, God damn it, man!
This game show is over.
Yeah.
Does this mean we get 4 more years of Alec Baldwin doing Trump on Saturday Night Live?
You know what, man?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
We are gonna have some of the best stand-up comedy that we've ever seen.
No, that's what I was trying to tell Liz earlier today. I'm like, here's some silver lining to the whole situation. I'm like, we finally have a president we can really make fun of again.
Yeah, I know. We haven't had that since George W. Bush.
Exactly. Obama, Obama can make fun of himself, and that's what I like about the guy. Yeah. And honestly, he never really did anything that was too fucked up.
Well, until you delve into his drone strike program and all that. He did.
But that's not fucked up in the way I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that sucks is that people talk about...
He's not the decider.
Yeah, I mean, I would have voted for Obama again before anyone else on the ticket, and that includes third party.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean,
if he was you're allowed to run again, I definitely would have.
Yeah, but I mean, just to say it for I mean, he had more drone strikes done under his campaign than I think. I mean, you could double or triple the amount that George W. Bush had during his terms in his 8 years, and you still wouldn't reach the amount that Obama had.
Yeah, but
he nearly doubled the deficit in the country.
So he did have his, but his demeanor, like the veneer, is completely solid. I will not take that away.
He's
from
a
him.
suave man. I would love to have a drink with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you know what? No, I'd rather have a drink with Donald Trump only because he seems like a guy who would.
Well, Donald Trump doesn't drink.
Oh, bullshit.
He doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. He's completely straight edge. That's like.
Yeah, you know what he does? He takes a fucking needle and he shoves it in an arm and he just turns a little knob and that fucking alcohol just gets flowing right into his fucking system. He shoves
his ass like Steve-O in the Jackass movie.
Right into his colon.
Ooh. You die that way.
Yeah, I know.
It bypasses your liver and you die of alcohol poisoning.
Yep. Oh. Come on, Trump. Come on, buddy.
That's what he's doing tonight. Melania's got that fucking funnel up, right up his poopa.
I'm really wondering what's going to happen after, once he takes the office, because he was talking about how he was going to jail Hillary Clinton. If you paid attention to WikiLeaks and all that type of shit that was happening with everything that was going on with her, we seriously have a major criminal on our hands.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
No, she's defeated. There's no point anymore. She's going to be. They won. The Republicans won.
And not only is she defeated,
emails, Benghazi, all that shit that they have been going after her for, doesn't matter anymore. She is completely irrelevant.
Well, not only will
charity dinner they all went to.
Not only is she only defeated, but she'll never be able to make another run for the presidential office again.
No, usually you run twice, and if you lose twice, you don't run again.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Unless you're Jill Stein, and then you just run for every office you possibly can.
just every time, just throw your name in a hat.
Well, did you hear that joke that he told at the dinner, the charity dinner?
Where she doesn't like Christians or something like that?
No, not that one. The one where he goes, "Oh, we met in the hall, and she was nice to me. She bumped into me and said, 'Pardon me.'" And he was like, "Oh, we'll talk about it."
I didn't hear that one.
That's slick. I honestly, I'm not gonna say she should be thrown in jail because that's not right off the bat because I don't know the extent. But looking at everything and all the things that went into the rigging of the DNC and all that, I think that needs to be investigated. I think, I think it needs to be looked at.
That's campaign reform.
But everything.
Which he said he's going to do.
But it needs to be all looked at.
That's not even campaign reform. That was some House of Cards type shit.
I think that stuff. The corruption is what lost her the election. She's not trustworthy.
Oh, absolutely.
They'd rather take an asshole.
That's what they've said the whole time.
Did you ever watch that Tommy video? The that really angry blonde chick that she's super hot, but really
I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
Well,
I want to hit her with this cat that won't leave me the fuck alone.
Now, every once in a while, she'll say something. She'll have a little nugget in the shit.
Yeah, she has good points when she actually makes logical points. So she did an episode that was all about Hillary Clinton and what had to happen in order for her to become the candidate, and it was and she had it all documented with fucking like dates and shit where Hillary Clinton talked to the head of the DNC. He then, stepped down a couple weeks later, and this other girl came in and was elected to be the head of the DNC, which was from Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, 2 years later, or like a year later, he's nominated as her vice president, and then the other lady who got, found out to be rigging the election for Hillary Clinton steps down out of the DNC.
In the same day, joins her campaign.
Yep. Like, that's some fucking crazy... Like, you just played chess with some motherfuckers on the board, and I just saw it. That's some fucked up shit.
It was the visible corruption. And the thing is, it was like it was visible, and they played it off like it was nothing.
Because
and that's
it
like a
was
Netflix show,
nothing,
man. I was
because they
watching the
all
news.
do it. That's the thing.
I know, but the thing is, man, is that if you can't show us the wizard behind the curtain, the man behind the curtain who's pretending to be the Wizard of Oz, you can't open it up, show everybody, and then go, guess what? I guess you guys see. Guess what? We don't give a fuck. And then shut it. And then pretend like that didn't happen.
Well,
if that happened with Donald Trump, like, it was his own personal views. But if he got caught doing that type of shit, I'd feel the same fucking way. That whole rigging thing. Everybody
He's fucked over
political
people his whole life.
Politics is absolutely dirty. We know it. It's like the whole, there's two things you don't want to see is how they make sausage and politics. You know what I mean? Those are two things you never want to see if you don't have a strong stomach. But the problem is that you can't let us see it, or we can't see it and then pretend like we didn't see it. If it's held from our gaze, we can ignore it. But you can't show us one way or another, and then we just go, okay.
That's what it was, man. It was
sausage.
like CNN was like watching, what was that show that came out on Showtime where they just analyzed the news and how like crazy it was? Newsroom. Like, it was like watching an episode of Newsroom when you watched all this DNC bullshit, the fucking House of Cards, and you're like, I have to vote for that against the racist.
I know. And the thing is that what really, in my mind, I voted Gary Johnson. I didn't vote either of them because, like I said, we don't live in a swing state, so fuck yourself. But in my head, I'm trying to, I don't support either of them, but in our personal conversations, I try to balance one against the other and kind of like as a thought experiment, see if somebody put a gun to my head, who I would choose, and god damn it, that is not easy.
No, this is a somber day. Everybody has a hangover, whether you drank last night or not.
I have a song for you to play at the end of this episode.
All right,
fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one where it's like,
where he's like they're going through the tunnel and it's,
but the rowers just keep rowing.
and that was a meme that I saw. It was like it was a GIF meme, and it was it's like going into election night. And it's like showing him like through like the really brightly colored room and kicking the candy thing, and then it's like what election night turned out to be, and him going through that tunnel going, everything is going fucking dark.
What? No, it was super depressing too. Watching the we can get off this whenever you want after I say this, Cuba. But watching the live coverage was when they Hillary Trump. Ooh. I know.
Terrible come
With their powers combined.
Can you imagine what their baby would be like? It'd have black eyes. It wouldn't blink. When it would walk, the grass would die under its feet.
So it's
birds
Cthulhu?
flying, dude. Birds
Trumple
flying
Clinton.
overhead would just drop out of the air.
we just call it Clinton.
I said Trumple Clinton, like Rumpelstiltskin.
I am Clinton, leader of the Decepticons.
I could see it just.
Leader of the Trumpicons.
I could see it for some reason. It comes out as a baby, but it grows way too fast too soon. So in like a matter of like a month, it's like the size of like an 8-year-old kid, and then it's on the swings alone. And everybody, like, you and me would be like fucking 400 feet away, like, what the fuck is up with that little kid all the way over there? What the fuck's up with that? Whispering to each other, and from 400 feet away, all of a sudden it just turns and looks at us and it hears us. Like, ah! That shit just played in my mind like a horror movie.
Like with Hillary, I really would have liked to have seen what everyone on Facebook would have said if Trump lost. Like, hey, let's keep on keeping on, yay!
That goes back to what I was gonna say was the depressing part of watching it. Besides either one of them winning and not a meteor fucking hitting those buildings, was the fact that she had all those supporters. I can't remember the name of the place, but the biggest place in the U.S. with a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
So she's like, "We broke this glass ceiling, woo!" And like, she never showed up.
No,
just all those people were so depressed.
Like when someone loses, they usually that night. They give some sort of speech.
She didn't give a speech until like 11 o'clock.
No, it was like 12:30. 12:30 this afternoon. She's supposed to have. They said, "Oh, she's gonna have a speech at 9:30." They're like, "Okay, it's at 10:30." They're like, "Okay, president's gonna speak at 12:15," and then she didn't speak until 12:30. So like, Obama's speech had to be put off until. And look, I'm not gonna blame her. I guarantee you, she spent 10 hours fucking crying.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like,
what would that have the concession call that they usually do when they concede?
Yeah.
The race. I mean, what the fuck must that have sounded like?
Well, same thing. Like Obama had to call him and invite him to the White House. He's going to the White House tomorrow, and then next week they're having like a transition meeting.
See, now that's awkward,
like that.
but I can see Obama being cool as a goddamn cucumber.
Well, did you
with
see
that
his
shit.
Speech this
no.
afternoon?
I didn't.
It was like it was like a pep talk to the country, and dude. Even though you know he fucking hates Trump. Absolutely. But he was calm, he was cool, he was smiling, he was upbeat.
This will be the biggest part of his legacy, I think.
Absolutely. It's like he was super composed. And Hillary's concession speech was fine.
How was Trump's speech for acceptance?
I'd call him the Facebook profile president. Like every time you see him, he's like, "Hey," but he's
like Buddy Jesus.
He does. He does have the funny.
He gives you the
Buddy Jesus smile.
He gives you the double guns.
Yeah.
He throws you a wink.
Yeah, Trump's speech was fine because it was a teleprompter speech. He read from. I don't know if it was a teleprompter. It sounded teleprompter, but. It was fine. He's talking about coming together now, and I want to be the president for every American, and he's saying all the things he should be saying. Yeah. And then, but that doesn't move me because, as far as I'm concerned, he's a bullshit artist. And then Hillary,
politics.
Hillary, her concession speech was fine. She choked up a little bit in the beginning, but she stayed the course and was very strong about it. But again, nothing she says has ever moved me either because she's so robotic.
The thing that really fucks me up, going back to the DNC rigging it against Bernie Sanders, is that the creepiest moment with Hillary is when that fly during the middle of one of her I can't remember, I think it was the debate, a fly landed on her face, crawled across her face and took off, and she did not move, she didn't feel it, she didn't swat at it. Nothing.
That was a fantastic day for Alex Jones listeners. Let me just tell you.
But,
she's a demon. She smells like sulfur.
But compare that to Bernie Sanders, one of his biggest speeches.
Oh, the bird?
When the little bird came over and landed on his podium by the microphone, and he was like, "Hey, little guy," and then he just took off.
Yep.
Like, dude, you clearly have an angel and a fucking demon.
Legit. Like, God was like, did you watch what was it, Comedy Central, Trevor Noah, when he was like, "What the hell is Trump doing with that hat? It's constantly covering his face. Like, aliens are watching this movie of Earth right now, and you know, when you watch the movies, there's always that guy who's just shrouded in shadow, and they're like, that's clearly the guy. That's clearly the bad guy." Like, aliens are doing that right now with Trump, and I absolutely agree. They sent a fucking bird to fucking Bernie Sanders.
I love the if you watch some of the Daily Show's live updates, as it was looking like she was gonna lose, he goes, I forgot what the other black guy's name, the black correspondent.
I honestly, after Jon Stewart and then Stephen Colbert, they left their respective shows.
Yeah.
I fell out of both those shows.
No, it's not bad. He's no Jon Stewart, but I like it. I like Trevor Noah. He's funny.
He's finally gotten into his groove. He's a little less awkward.
Yeah.
And the writers finally know how to write for him.
I do like John Oliver because he's funny, but like Jon Stewart, he knows how to he makes a serious point.
Right.
He knows when to be serious and when to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Trevor Noah is a little more funny than making points like Jon Stewart did.
Well, he's the same way as Stephen Colbert, where he's kind of playing a character.
No, I think he's himself. He's doing himself, and because I think that's part of the gig of the Daily Show is that you are yourself doing making commentary on the news.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I've watched his stand up, and now like I'm been kind of keeping up with him because I like the Facebook page, so they like put up little clips. So
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
actually watched an entire show. I've only seen the clips that they post online.
I like him.
over-
He is funny. And
Yeah,
but
over time he got more comfortable, but he's definitely the same as his stand up. So
yeah, and again, like they have the black correspondent for like all the black news, and he's new because the previous girl left recently, so I forgot his name, but he's wicked funny too. Yeah, and as like the results are coming in, they're bad, and he's like, so could you give me some good news? And the dude's sitting there like this. He's leaning way over. The laptop's over there on the news desk. He goes. He's like, you can smoke marijuana in Massachusetts now. It's like, yeah, that's true. It's like,
pretty timely.
yeah, I mean, that's.
What would how the other questions? Question 4 is the only one I know the answer.
No on charter schools, no on casinos, yes on not caging chickens and shit,
good.
and yes on marijuana.
Nice. That's
and I think
how I voted, so good.
3 or 4 other states out of the 6 states that were trying to legalize marijuana legalized it.
Good.
So
But that doesn't take place until December.
yeah. So 3 more
Mine was
weeks and we
boring.
can start. We
The
can start.
worst.
We can
It's
start
gonna
growing some plants.
I
Start.
got the worst questions imaginable. My ballot was like playing the game of Sims. It was like, your port needs to be bigger. Want to invest in a new port? Okay. Like, your vets are homeless. Want to invest in homes for the vets? Okay.
A tsunami damaged your port.
I was gonna say, you're playing Civilization 6.
Seriously,
edition.
like, your politicians are corrupt. Do you want an ethics board? Okay. like, I had no cool questions. So there was one like, do you want more projects? No, I don't want more projects. Get out of here.
I'm surprised that Rhode Island didn't have legalizing marijuana on their ballot.
They'll do it next year or next election, whatever the fuck, because they want to be as cool as Massachusetts.
I know, but again, you're
should just take
you're
you
always
over.
trying to be as cool as Massachusetts, so I don't understand why it wasn't on the ballot this time.
Man, Cuba, you, me, and like a few other tens of other people should just grab rocks and stand at the border and just throw them over. Just be like, we take you over, and they'll capitulate. The entire state will be like, fuck, okay.
We just march in with 10 dudes and plant a flag and go, ours now.
We bought you for fucking 20 beads. 20 beads and shiny
claim
shells.
this land in name of Massachusettopia.
I'll be like, this is Roy Town. Royton.
That sounds like a town in Rhode Island.
Roy Town.
with this new president-elect, like, what do you see in the future, these next 4 years? What are you thinking? How's it going to look?
Well, we're not, according to Liz, we're not buying a new house now. We are getting our passports ready in case we have to flee the country.
See, I don't think you'd have to.
Oh, just keep going. I need to just keep going.
No, I mean, no. Those are like the 2 biggest things, right? And that's like legit happening now.
So she's super on the Hitler train. Like, this is Hitler.
She's more on the Supreme.
That's
He's gonna appoint Supreme Court justices that are going to send us back 100 years. Which, out of everything, I don't know if he's gonna become a Hitler. I don't think he'll become a Hitler, but he can appoint justices that will fuck everything up.
That is the biggest threat right there. Is the fact that he could Supreme judges hold, lifelong terms until they decide to retire, as we talked about before. And if he does appoint them with certain ethics of his choice, it could, that's the biggest threat right there.
That is.
Which is fucked because Supreme Courts, when you think about it, like, human rights are human rights. I don't know. Like, how can you...
Let me tell you, I'm friends with a lot of gays and lesbians, and out of everybody on Facebook right now, they are the most panicked and the most afraid.
See, that I don't think they'll repeal. I think it's too wide. You might have some support in some southern states.
Dude,
some of them.
Our future vice president is a dude who thinks he can electrocute the gay out of you.
Oh, look, I'm just saying.
Chew on that for a minute.
I'm just saying, look, man, you haven't tried it, right?
We really rolled the dice on this one.
I am not. What'd you say?
So we really rolled the dice on this one.
Yeah. Look, no. To be obviously, I am not homophobic or anything like that. I have plenty of gay friends, as you know. But
I know the gays.
I don't know, man. I feel like that won't have.
No, I don't think they're going to overturn gay marriage, but I mean, there's a slight possibility there. I think abortion's going to be overturned before gay marriage.
Roe versus Wade,
which
right?
again, that's a huge step backwards because they always care about the unborn child till it's fucking born,
and then they don't care how it lives in squalor. But see, again on that, I mean, I feel like nowadays that's it's a popular hot button issue that the thing that pisses me off is that these are things that have been squashed, settled, right? But whenever they need something to bounce around, you know what I mean? They always used those two fucking things. It was abortion and gay marriage rights. And we squashed those. But now they're going to be the political footballs again.
Yep.
It's
I can't even make a prediction. I'm not going to make a prediction because every single prediction I made, I was completely fucking wrong. I mean, I don't know if it was to you guys yesterday. I said yesterday or the day before, I'm like, you know what? The whole time I was like, I don't think Trump's going to win. I think she's going to win, preferably by a landslide, but I think she was good. I'm positive that she's going to win.
I thought she was going to
None of us thought it.
too.
Yeah,
but
like
also it's like,
was gonna win.
I literally said, I'm like, because I was looking on Facebook and there's a couple of my siblings' friends. So they're in their, 22, 23, that are fucking idiots. And they're like, Trump this, Trump that. But then, I saw, this dude, he's been posting Trump memes for a fucking year now. Mm-hmm. And then someone wrote, dude, it's like, what are you even posting this shit for? You're not even registered to vote. And he's like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And then another friend, her sister, does the same thing, posts all this Trump shit, but has said several times on her Facebook page that she's not going to vote. So I'm like, I said to myself, I'm like, all right, so I don't think he's going to get much of the millennial young people vote anyways. But now I'm pretty certain that, young people are just not going to show up based on what I'm starting to see here. And then I'm also thinking all these people that he fills out these fucking stadiums at his rallies and there's all these people, but they're the type of people that historically, when you have seen them in past elections, do not go to vote.
Right.
You look at them and they're like, yeah, Trump, blah, 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 blah. We hate blacks and gays and everything. It's like, you're going to vote? Hell no. Voting for faggots. And they kept saying, he kept saying this whole time, we got the silent majority. We got the silent majority that you'll see. And he was so fucking right. There was this silent, massive
silent majority because it's like
because it's not people.
You look at it's like not people voting who want to vote for Trump. It's like I'm gonna pay attention and I'm gonna watch this entire thing. And when time comes to vote, you motherfucking DNC, you just keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing. Oh fuck! I'm gonna make me do it, aren't you? You're gonna make me vote for the other guy.
That's exactly what it is. It's not that people wanted to. Most of the people, like I said, most of the people I know, I think I can name two people. One is my boss, who I got in a little spat with today, and two is Bobby. If you're listening, hey, sorry, man. Throwing your name out there. Those are the only two people I know that were vehemently Trump, all Trump. Everyone else was like, well, it's either I vote for him or I vote for her, and I can't vote for her, so I gotta vote for anything else. Right. You could have put that, what is it? Is it Alaska? Or some town in Alaska where their mayor is like a cat? It's like the honorary mayor? I don't know, but that sounds like it might make sense in Alaska. I saw memes that were like, I would vote for that fucking cat above. I mean, dude, Harambe got 15,000 votes! A dead gorilla in Ohio, which is a fucking swing state, got 15,000 votes. Dare I say, is there anything else to say? What the fuck?
It was a grim outlook, but I don't know if you want to leave it positive. I have a positive outlook going forward. I'm not a fucking Trump supporter. I can't stand the fact that he got elected, but he got elected for a reason. And that reason is because the other person was just so terrible and awful. And, we saw it. We saw it all. It was all on the table thanks to WikiLeaks. If anything, I think Trump should fucking give that guy a pardon because he did a service to this country. But
Well, I'm sure he
like,
grabs pussy, so I guess I'm sure he'd pardon him.
He did hand Trump this fucking election, though. Oh, he did.
people
I think the
came out
FBI handed him the election.
No. I mean, they did a little bit. They had their part to play too, and that goes back to her corruption anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point, because if she never did anything that had to be investigated, the FBI never would have had to get involved in at all. So that there never would have been anything there. So,
Exactly. Like, and that silent majority is definitely the majority that came through and won this election for Trump, because we're seeing the debt increase under like Obama. We're seeing all these. We're just seeing the crumbling of our country, and had to step in to be like, all right, like we need to rip the Band-Aid off this fucking shit because she stands for the exact same shit or worse, and we can't do that. We can't just keep fucking going down the fiery tunnel and just keep on going.
I think
so.
he'll, like I said before in our. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know you were finished.
So he's so fucking bad that everyone has to take notice. Like everything that he's going to do, everything he's going to say is going to be so analyzed and scrutinized. And I mean, as of right now, just the fact that he's even elected, there are picketing people out in front of all major cities.
Have you
saying,
seen
"Fuck
in
Trump."
Boston what they're doing? They're marching up and down the streets, all college kids.
It's crazy. So
burning
like,
American flags.
A few days ago, there was a gathering of 5 million people for the Cubs parade. Okay, this goes down as like one of the 6 most largest crowds of assembling people for the sports team parade.
Hey,
I
the Cubs haven't won in 108 years. It's a big deal.
I get the big deal about it, but this is a bigger deal. Okay, and now that like he is now the candidate, I think it's going to awaken a force of the people that we have not seen, and the next biggest gathering of people will be around watching what the fucking candidates or this government is doing and going, fuck you. No, like this is done. I don't think he can get the hatred, bigotry that he's got going for him, anything past in regards to that. Because he wears it on his sleeve so much, we can attack it outright instead of waiting for a Snowden or a fucking, Assange to leak it on WikiLeaks.
Yeah. It does expose the rot. That's what I said before in our previous conversation online. It exposes.
You gotta cut it away.
It exposes the rot for what it is instead of trying to like you said, slap another Band-Aid on it and just kick it down the road. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. We might go backwards before we go forwards, but I think people are going to see what's going to happen, and we're going to learn from it. And I don't think this will happen. I don't think this will happen again. Like once it's all said and done. No. I mean, I don't see him winning again. I can't see the Democrats making the same mistakes again. I mean, they've got to learn from this.
Are they still counting votes in Michigan?
They've got to. I bet they're begging Bernie, please, 4 years from now, stay alive and run. Even if we got to prop you up or wheel you in a fucking wheelchair.
You know what I picture Bernie right now? And I'm sure Bernie cares, but also a little part of Bernie is going to be like, you fucked yourself.
Yeah.
You fucked yourself. But I'm picturing that Kermit the Frog meme where he's drinking the tea. It's like, I could have fixed this, but that's none of my business.
None of my business, though.
I think you should go upstairs. You should tell your wife, like, she can calm down as long as she's engaged in the political system, because that's what I've noticed. Like, everyone just wanted to vote this election and have it go away and not have to worry about it for another 4 years. They just wanted that Hillary Clinton. We know that she knows what she's doing to make us kind of feel okay about things, even though we know it's deep down it's not like there's no Santa Claus kind of thing.
Of course she's engaged in the political system. She was a campaign operative or whatever the hell they call it in Delaware when she lived in Delaware, and her friend is now the lieutenant governor of Delaware. And,
I know, but now that Trump
and dude,
is
she's got a fucking master's degree in criminal justice and political psychology or some shit like that.
I understand that, but now that now that Trump is elected, like, we have to pay attention. Like, it's a constant thing that we are going to have to do now. It's part of my day-to-day now is see what news is happening around any policies.
That's the thing that I'm so pissed off about this whole thing. I thought today, I'm like, on Monday, I'm like, God, I can't wait for Wednesday because I don't have to fucking look at that guy again, and I can stop waking up every morning to see.
You've got 4 more years of it.
I don't have to wake up every morning and check my internet and go, what stupid shit did he say today? Now I got 4 years of going, well, let's see what stupid shit he said and what people made fun of him for.
But see, that's what's going to be fun.
That will be
But
fun.
you know what? Waking up every day is going to be like that, we're already past Halloween, but remember the Treehouse of Horrors in The Simpsons when Ned Flanders got in that alternate universe when Homer Simpson made the toaster that turned out to be a time machine?
Oh, he's...
And
We're
Ned
all like...
Flanders runs the world and has this, every day you wake up, you assemble in line, it's just his face on a gigantic screen.
I was going to say, every day we wake up and have breakfast with our lizard tongues and go, close enough.
It's raining again. It's all donuts.
Yeah. What's a donut?
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Exactly. I should make one of those signs and put it on my lawn.
That should be the name of this episode.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's the name, and that's going to be the graphic. Dude, earlier today we're like, we got to talk about the election. That's like, it's such an important thing. We got to talk about it. But we'll leave it for the end of the podcast. We're going on 55 minutes and 42 seconds.
Well, it's what's bubbling. You can't. I mean, how are we going to sit down and talk about anything else?
Right.
Well, I can segue it. Walking Dead, everyone.
We're all part of The Walking Dead now.
See, I was going to try to say when we were talking about Roytown and how we were going to take over with rocks, just Rhode Island. I was like, and guess what? I'll be there with a leather jacket and a bat with barbed wire. The Walking Dead, ladies and gentlemen. But we still had like 45 more minutes to go.
I think this is good therapy. Like you said before, this podcast, whether people listen to us or not, this is therapy for us, essentially.
Yeah.
We've been doing this in some form or another for going on 4 years now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it really is like a weekly therapy session.
It is.
We frame it within the realm of entertainment, but every once in a while, like this is just like a complete unloading, and it's free.
Yeah.
For now.
Unloading.
Ooh.
All right. So, did we want to get into some Walking Dead, Cuba, that you still haven't watched? You fuckero.
We can end this with some geek news. There's some Walking Dead and a couple other little things we can touch upon if we. I think we've burdened the folk long enough with our political talk. We can give them some random bullshit.
We'll return after these messages.